We are back on the 1970 Dodge. It's a Dodge Dart Swinger. That is a Dodge Dart Swinger. It's not mine. It's this man's right here. It's Dr. Torque. But I'm really excited today because we're doing something super cool. This car comes with bench seats, but why? Talk to us. And was that optional in this one?
Oh yeah, you could get bucket seats in this car. In fact, I have the ones that I have covered with the correct fabric for this year.
That's cool. Right, now, but there's a pretty big question people have when they're swapping these out, right? Like it's...
The bench seat is actually held down by 4 studs that go through the floor with nuts on the bottom. And there's 2 on this side, 2 on that side.
Nuts.
And then when people get bucket seats, a lot of times they attempt to put the bucket seats into the car using the same holes that the bench used, and that's not the way it was. The holes are further inboard, and people then want to know, how do you know where to drill the holes? And yeah, we'll hopefully cover that here in a little while.
Yeah, because drilling holes, anytime you have to drill a hole in something that wasn't there before, which is, I guess, makes, if you're drilling a hole, I guess that means it wasn't there, but that can be scary.
There's actually dimples on the floor where you drill the holes.
Oh, that's really cool.
And
that's
also,
awesome. That alone would be a huge help. That's great.
And I think this is an aftermarket carpet that's in this, so that wouldn't be true. But if you're lucky enough to have a nice car with the original carpet in it still, there's little X's cut in the carpet.
Wow.
Where the studs are supposed to go through too.
Okay, that's also pretty dang cool.
So if you're a teenager, when you have your first Dodge Dart, and you don't own a drill or drill bits, you find those holes in the carpet, and you get a screwdriver, and you pound the screwdriver through.
My goodness.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But when you're a teenager...
These cars are worth a lot more than they were.
More valuable, and your mind hopefully has gone to a new level on how you do stuff. So
don't be teenagers stupid.
Don't be that way. All right. No offense to the teenagers out there. You haven't had a...
I want to offend the teenagers.
You just haven't had a chance
to figure
it out yet. All right. Of course, the first step is disassembly, and you don't start from inside, do we, Dr. Torque? We start from down under.
Start down under?
Down under.
So I rolled under here.
Yeah.
To a part of the car I haven't been under but yet, since I got this thing. And the fuel line right here that's supposed to run from the rear to the front, all steel, appears to transition to rubber right here. Which is not good. Then it appears to transition to aluminum.
Well, that is interesting.
And some people run aluminum front to rear, like in race cars or whatever.
Well, yeah, we're trying to make this lighter. So, yeah, you can see the video on this one of when we first picked it up. But Tom's still in the process of doing some cool things. Why did you buy this car now? Is this the one you had, something like this when you were a kid? Or?
My first car was a 70 Swinger. So like this car, it was dark green, but it was a 6-cylinder car.
If you are new to the channel, this man, he likes green. We have this green, we have that green, we even have floor jacks that are green. So, you know, it's a cool, I have to admit, it's a pretty dang cool color.
And in all honesty, that first car I was talking about that was dark green is the car that made me like green.
See? So this has got a lot of firsts. All right, so.
But at that same time, I wanted a car like this. I really like this Sublime color. And I really wanted this exact car, basically, one that was Sublime 70 Swinger 340 with 4-speed. But back then, you had to pay like $1,200 back in the late 80s for that.
Oh my gosh, so expensive.
That was twice as expensive as the car I had.
And so now you've got the one you really want.
Correct.
I love it. And now we're putting the seats in that you really want, which of course are cooler bucket seats. So how many bolts we got on here? What are we doing here?
Well, there's this one right here. The stud comes through from the bench seat. And for some reason, it doesn't have the regular nut on here with the big washer that came from the factory. It has some sort of a spacer and then a lock nut. So somebody's definitely not put this back together with the stock components.
You find that quite a bit whenever you're working on any kind of project to work. And I actually would say that besides that we just want to do it the right way, I do think about the next guy. Even now, this was one where may not go to the next guy ever, but when it is, like the bike work we do, we're always like, you know, there's gonna be a next guy. Let's think about the next guy. Because a lot of times we are the next guy. So,
Here we go. What the?
what the heck is this? Okay. So we'll get those out and proceed from there. So check this out. This was the spacer that was on there. That is, that's not normal.
No, and this isn't the stock stud either because it's not threaded.
That's probably
all the way
why. Okay, well now we have, we know what that is, or why that was like that. I don't know what happened to the original one, but.
Yeah, it's not threaded all the way up, so you wouldn't be able to put one of the stock nuts that have the nut washers built in because it wouldn't go all the way against the floor. So that's why they went with this. And then they didn't have the other.
No, do you have, are we reusing those?
No.
Great. Okay, let's see what we find on the other side. Fancy. I do see a problem though. There's no fuel line over on this side.
But they made it up with a brake line and emergency brake cable.
It doesn't balance. There's no, oh wow, bling. Another one that's super loose?
Yeah, like really, really loose.
Wow, it was ready to come out.
And then it gets tighter.
It was just waiting for the day it could be upgraded. I'm gonna get this on recording. So
yeah,
this,
you should probably come and look at this.
What are we dealing with over here?
So this is the rear one on this side. Similar to that other one, the stud is long and doesn't have threads all the way up. But they didn't make a bushing for this one. They tried to fill it with like washers.
Holy moly. Wow. They didn't have any more of that material. Dang, holy moly. And that is, it isn't enough.
That's even worse than my fabrication skills.
That's, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's
impressive.
That is impressive. There's no doubt about that. That is impressive. On the bottom side, the bolt is staying tight because see how the seat is rocking back. So now I shall just take my ease. Oh, I'm just laying in the seat.
Okay.
It's great. You're welcome. I'm doing my part. That's what we were dealing with. Oops. Holy moly! They really did make this, and then they bent it. They were really desperate.
And they still didn't succeed.
And they still didn't succeed. They could have went down to the hardware store. You could have went to the hardware store and totally taken care of that last guy.
Could have bought about 5 washers.
Yeah, and you'd have been set. That'd have been way easier. You really wanted to get it in. Who knows what the real story is on that, but now we're the next guy. Dealing with the last guy. All right, what are we doing next? We got to just remove this, right?
Yeah, we need to pull the seat belts through so they don't bind us up while we're trying to pull this thing out.
That's true. Okay, I'll get up. Let's do this. Shove these babies in. These are not stock seat belts.
No. Wish they were. They're like the stock seat belts.
Yeah.
This one looks like maybe it goes on that side. This one goes on this side.
Oh, the seats kind of turn at an angle. That's kind of cool how those angle over.
Let people in the back seat.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's very clever. Do you see what I'm talking about there? How that angles from tight here down to falling over. That seat's not bolted down.
Weird. I should bolt the seat down.
I know.
They like spent the time to reupholster the seat to make it nice.
Yeah, but then
we don't have time to go to the hardware store and buy some washers.
It took too long to get the seat ready. So we're going up in this direction?
Correct. We'll lift it and we just need to get it up and over that side doohickey thing that I can't think of the name of. Rocker panel.
Yep.
And then we can just kind of.
Yep. Let's do it.
I'm just gonna set this down.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Look what fell out when we were working in here. What is that?
Those are bumpers from the top of a shock absorber.
Who was this last guy? He was using everything. Look at this. So for spacers up here, this is from the top of a shock. Last guy, I'm a mixture of impressed and very like, what the heck at the same time. You didn't even have consistency, man. This one was with the metal down, and this is with the metal up. Look, if you're gonna use junk laying around your shop, you know, be consistent with it.
This is what's supposed to be under there.
They are somewhat similar, except this is hard plastic, and this is very squishy rubber.
Maybe that's why you liked bouncing on it so much.
Maybe he improved it. Maybe it was an improvement. That's so funny. You gotta get her Nice and clean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jake did most of the work already. I'm just pretending.
This side though needs, is it like you get like a burlap sack going on over here? What?
The underside of the padding is held in with burlap.
Oh, so it really is burlap.
It is.
What do you know? So the next step is in this process, after we clean the carpets, is we got to get these, I always forget what the heck these are called. Why?
Kick plates or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
because it's not chair rail. That's what wants to come out of my head.
Wow.
It's chair rail.
That's as bad as what I say.
Maybe. So those
there's screws right along here, and there's one in the front here, and one in the back here. And that might be all we have to do. I don't think we have to take these kick panels out.
Big bug.
Don't squish him, although he's very dry.
He's very dry. Yeah, don't squish stinky stuff is the rule that we're talking about here.
I brought out a ratcheting screwdriver and I'm still spinning it.
Is that switch for the lights vacuum?
That is actually the squirter for the window wipers.
What? Oh, right. There's a switch for the down below.
This is the dimmer switch.
What? Are you kidding me?
And that is a plunger. You go.
Oh, that's so crazy.
For the washer fluid.
That's why I love this old mechanical. Oh, we get old enough that everything's mechanical. It's just fun. That's just fun. How much fun? Squishing. You got to pump your windshield wiper squisher. That's rad. All right, screws out.
So I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws out, and then this just lifts off.
And that's it.
And it's actually holding this piece of trim down that goes up this, and it's holding the front of the rear of this kick panel on. It appears to not have its screw in.
No, the screw is there, but it's probably short or shimmed.
Doesn't screw
or
into
something.
Anything.
You probably got it from like a gumball machine.
Yeah, it's there, all right.
It just wasn't screwed in. It looks like it was scraping the edge. Maybe it's not long enough or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, it might have been stripped out.
Possible.
It's not a bad thing that it's out.
He should have used washing machine parts on that. It would have been far better.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so now we're pulling this up.
So here's that hole that the bench seat was in, one of the holes. And we don't reuse those. That's what a lot of people think.
That's the problem right there, yes.
They try to put it in. This must have had bucket seats in it at some point.
The holes are already drilled. Yeah, check it out.
Speaking of screwdrivers.
So we are using the screwdriver method. And then there's one more over here, right? Done.
So
that was fantastically fast.
We're not getting to show you what we were hoping to show you, but normally there's just little dimples.
You can, yeah, it's probably hard to see on here, but that does kind of raise up a little bit right there, that, like the whole.
Well, I think that's because there was a bucket seat in here that over the years was pulling up on that.
Oh, so it's a smaller dimple?
Well, it's a dimple that's, you know, centered right here, and I don't remember it coming up around the edges. I think it was just basically just a little dimple.
Oh, gotcha. So it's not a plateau. It's
but
just
it's an easy point to
yeah, to know where to go.
To know where to go.
So here's one thing that I've noticed. Sometimes in these older rigs, they're a little tough to get your arms and work around, but sometimes they actually did think about the mechanic, I think, more than they do today. Because today, I don't think anybody, I think each department builds a part of a vehicle and it just somehow meshes together with the next department to build a different one, the team, and you get what you get. So that's kind of awesome.
So in a stock carpet, right at this basic position right here, there would be a little X. And that's exactly where the stud would be able to just go through the carpet. You didn't have to cut a new hole.
That's fantastic. I want to point out something that's so cool back here, is this back windshield. Look how this is like curved in.
And
it doesn't curve out. Yeah, I know. It's like it curves in. You curves in this way and it curves in this way. That is really cool. It almost looks like it like melted in a cool way and drooped down. That's wild. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Oh, what are you doing here? You're going to use a scientific method. Feeling for the hole through the carpet.
I got this where it's supposed to be. This one's where it was. So that panel's going to hold this down or that plate.
Yeah.
And then I just, you know, find where it is. Another thing we could do would be to go under the car and poke up through the hole with something like an ice pick or an awl.
I think this would be easier. I think you're on the right track because then the carpet stays put. It'd be harder to want to press the carpet up here and kind of pinch it down.
But
like what? Oh yeah, I mean this feels like tight down here and kind of around it. Like I'll kind of hold this and you can hold that where it goes, and I think the combination is screwdriver punch worthy. And one more.
Is it this one here or is it this one here?
Well,
it should be about 12 inches. This is not 12 inches.
That doesn't look, no, and that doesn't look like
I'm just wondering what this hole's about.
12 inches? Are you sure that's not 12 inches?
What, to here to here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me go get a tape
Let's
measure.
find out. So we've determined that that is the proper hole. That's the right distance across and it's the right size. And you needed more screwdrivers for something.
I want a screwdriver in every hole. Keeps things aligned, right?
Well, actually, that's true. It does. That's not a bad tip. If you have a hole here and you punch a screwdriver through it, it obviously holds that and keeps it in line.
Oh, they used stuff to glue this down.
Oh, they did glue
I'm not accustomed to that.
No. Well, we don't know if that was the same guy that used washer parts or not. Or shock parts. But there it is. So somebody swapped that out for a bench. That's weird.
This might have actually had buckets in it when it was new.
Maybe he just found a bench seat that was, that was like those nice and better than the buckets, and who knows? Okay, so check this out. We think this is the right hole here. We've got multiple holes going on here, and so we think this is the right hole, but we're not sure if this is the right one in the back because it looks like a dimple there. And we were doing all these measurements, and I'm like, all right, and then we'll go measure the other seat, and then Tom's like, you know what's even easier than that? He's got himself one of the seat tracks.
This is the seat track for this exact spot of the car. And we'll take some stuff out. So there's actually reinforcement on the underside of the car right here that has a hole in it. So I can tell where the hole's supposed to be. And you can see I'm coming up through that right here. On this rear one, unfortunately, the hole in the reinforcement is even with this,
but it's up here.
But it's further forward. And so that's little,
that little
dimple that we're talking about. And this looks like somebody sprayed undercoating in here, so it's making it a lot harder to see the dimple. From the factory, the dimples are usually pretty easy to see.
Does that line up? Did you see if these line up? Hole to dimple?
Yep.
That's it. Okay, so we got some of the holes right.
So this hole is correct. Unfortunately, I already poked a hole through my carpet right there, but nobody will see that.
Nope, you won't see that.
So that goes to there. We're gonna have to drill a hole there.
Probably.
And on that side, I'll have to roll under to see if that lines up. You see how much further forward this one is?
Yeah.
Than this one? I think this is the dimple here. Where'd that tape measure go? It's about 12 inches.
Yeah, you know what? That does look too far forward.
Right?
Yeah, that's
just
12.
12.
Yeah.
So I think this is our dimple here.
So we got...
I think there's a dimple right here that I can feel with my see and
sure
feel.
Looks like it.
And if we measure from this dimple right here over.
Well, yeah, pretty close. Just that, yeah. Okay, all right. So we get a little more. We got ourselves a little more figuring to do here, but I think we're getting closer. Yeah, that's totally it. That's lined up. And that's lined up.
So those are the two stock locations for stock A-body bucket seats. Yeah. So that tells me this car came with a bench seat from the factory. You see these big, huge holes here?
Yep.
That's where the bench seat went originally. Then it looks like somebody installed two different sets of bucket seats at some point in time using one stock hole from where the A-body buckets would have gone. But then this is off a little bit by like an inch-ish.
For this.
And then some big holes over here, and then this here.
Did you use that what you there. Just call them big holes?
Big holes.
Hey, we also teach you how to cuss without cussing.
I can see a brake line going right under this hole right here.
Yep.
So that tells me that the seat was removed before that brake line was run.
Yeah,
Otherwise, that would be difficult to bolt in place unless you want to crush your brake line.
It would. Okay, we're learning. Man, if you're ready to drill that sucker. You know what size that is?
Yep.
Time for holes. There it is. Speed hole.
Makes it go faster. Look at all the speed holes we already have in the floor.
Man,
this is the fastest car ever.
It is. Now it's just increased by that much more.
So what I want to do, I may not have a long enough arm.
That's the one. I see the glove.
Yeah, there's no bracket under here for that particular one, so I don't know. I can't say that's exactly right.
All right, beautiful. A couple more holes, and we got this baby ready to go.
Do I need to make that one bigger?
Oh, let's check that. See if you're ultra precise. 57 to 312.
It's slightly bigger than the stud, but I mean, you can see how big the stock ones were on the bench.
Huge.
That is not what I meant to do. There's a steering wheel.
Oh, the steering wheel is in the way. Okay, let's go up and hold on a second. There's one hole. You can nut, so we don't lose that. So we got this sort of in. We're gonna put. We got one stud down through.
And I just have the nut on loosely, so we can still move it around.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrestle the rest of these in here. It's in.
What?
It's nothing. I'm talking to our friend here. We're in. We're just tightening it from the bottom. So the holes were just a little wide, so we're gonna make them a little bit bigger on this side. But we got her now. Okay, we gotta like flip this back and see. Oh, I think that looks pretty sharp. No, doesn't that look? I think that looks really cool. It looks sportier definitely than the bench the seat does. The buckets definitely have a particular feel, and I'm liking it. We're gonna have to sit in it once we get these in. Man, it's so crazy. Now, of course, you see this center. It's gonna make the car feel like there's more room too. That's nice. I like it. That side is just about done. Dr. Torque is down there doing his torque thing. After we had to take it back up because we forgot to put these in. See?
You didn't have to pull it all the way out.
That's true. We just pulled one half, and then we put these on, and then we put that side back, the back half, and then we did the front half. We will remember to put these on the next seat. See, that's the problem. We weren't using shock
Insulators.
Insulators, yeah. All right, much better, much better. And now we got ourselves a functional seat over there. What do you think of it? So you were saying on this side, this side's done. That side, however, we peeled the carpet back, and what have you discovered there, Dr. Torque?
Other than these big holes for the bench seat, I see a whole bunch of holes over here, like 4 of them, and then another hole right here.
Wow.
And then I see a dimple right here.
Which you just started. You just
which I just hit with the drill a little tiny bit, and then there's a dimple right here.
So it's probably is that drilled? I think that one's drilled.
Really? I didn't poke at it. No.
You sure you need a screwdriver in here? Why is there? Why'd they put? I mean, they put.
That's kind of what the dimples look like.
And they put though like some.
Well, they tried to seal everything. Well, they used spray stuff to hold the carpet down.
Yeah, true.
And some of the stuff is that, but so anyway, I took this thing here, which does stuff.
It does measuring things.
Does that a whole bunch apparently.
Extension, retraction.
It's almost exactly 12 inches, which is what I was expecting on the other side.
And it was a little wider that side.
And that side seemed a little too wide.
Yep, so that's perfect.
12 inches is what we're after.
That's it. 12 inches seems to be the magical number.
So we're gonna drill these, and then we'll look for dimples over here, but we also have our fancy pants measuring device for measuring front to rear, which, if we bother to look at for Mopar A-bodies, is almost exactly 12 inches also.
So there we go.
So that's how I remember the A-body ones. When you're looking at bucket seats, and people say, oh, these are A-bodies, just measure, if they have the tracks on them, of course, measure the track distances. They should be 12 inches side to side and front to back.
Okay.
If it's
easy to remember.
If it's wider or deeper, then they're out of a different type of car. The tracks kind of all look the same. So
it's a great way.
That's a good way to
great way to test it and remember it. Yeah. Maybe a little bit bigger. They were a little tight on that one, and
they were a little tight on the other side.
Yeah, I like it.
I suppose I could get a bigger drill bit.
Or you just do that. Maybe that's what happened to that fuel line. Maybe that's where that rubber section is in there.
Well, it's way over here.
It is going, well, not here. Yeah, that one. Fuel line? No.
The fuel line is, well, it's dropped down a whole bunch from right there, but I can see it through this hole. It's right about here.
Well, you're good, because if you hit it, all we got to have is a little bit of a rubber.
Yeah, exactly. Super easy to fix.
It is. Nice.
It doesn't explain how it got damaged last time.
No, or why it switched to aluminum.
Because it's what they had laying around.
I think we have established that whatever this last guy did, it was based on what was laying around. And a lot of what was laying around was aluminum stuff, on washers too. Okay, speaking of learning from your mistakes, this side, not really a mistake, just the last side was hard to find those holes. We had the holes punched through, and then as soon as you went like that, it just vanished. So Tom was like, you know what, besides punching the hole through, let's also, oh, you got that one right on. Let's make a bigger hole. And then we draw a bullseye. A silver bullseye. All right, cool. We got all our bullseyes marked. And now we're ready to put these on first.
Yeah.
And then we'll put the seat in. See what we're remembering to do? We're putting these on out here. And also, check it out. There's your burlap.
Yeah.
That's what's on there. Kind of cool. And those are definitely cool to have on. And that little clip is great because then these don't ever fall off again, and we don't ever, if we're taking the seats on and off, have to have the same issue where we put them on and then have to come back out.
Hey Jake, why does one of those look new and the other one looks old?
That is an interesting question, Tom. That's a old story. Not really.
Not
it's
really.
An old piece.
It's 3 days old, 2 days old.
2 days old story.
So there's a spring in here that helps you slide forward. When you're putting these on the seats and you go, oh, I need to slide that the other direction, and you pull that, and the brand new spring on the brand new one goes bam really hard, and it shoots the bearings right out of it.
That's exciting. Let's get the seat in because I guess they're gonna need that. You should make passengers sit on the floor. And they could buckle up. Alright.
Put that in your face.
Yeah. Careful with your positions. Let's get, oh, right in? Are you kidding me? Was it the bullseye?
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Stand by.
Stand by. That's what we're talking about, though. This side went much smoother than the last side, and Tom was like, I think it's because we marked the holes and they were the right spacing, and that's probably all those. And who knows what, and we already did one. Because once you do one once, it's always easier the second time. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we gotta slide that to the back. You done under there?
More or less.
That's fantastic.
So you're gonna set the seat and sit and slide it back, you said?
Yeah, we're gonna slide it back, and then there's one important test. So first we're gonna...
Hang on, let me grab that other.
Yep, we're probably missing the hook on the other side. Now, for cool factor, I'm gonna get out so you can see it, but it's pretty good. But we gotta see if we had to, if we could lay down. Here still. Yeah, you can. It's not as comfy, but it works. And it has a way better cool factor. Let's get out and look. I think that is sharp looking. Wow. What do you think?
Looks like bucket seats.
Look like bucket seats, but you liking them?
Hopefully.
You digging it?
Let me see if I fit.
Do you feel like you sit higher?
I might. I don't know.
Do you like it?
Sure.
You happy?
Do you like it?
I think they look cool.
I
mean, it's like going from a 4-door to a 2-door in some ways. In my humble opinion, I'm starting a big old fight with this, but that's just my opinion. I think it looks really good when you have these. Like 4 doors and bucket seats go together, and 2 doors, in my opinion.
You just said 4 doors and bucket seats go together.
No, 4 doors and bench seats. Look, I don't know. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. It matters what I mean. And that's what I mean. Well, that's pretty dang cool, man. I would say that was a success. And now, if you're doing this, you know where to find and how to find those little bumps and how to mark your carpet. That's pretty dang sweet. So, we're calling this a win.
Yes.
That's a level of enthusiasm rarely seen.
Yes.
He liked it. Okay, listen, have yourself a great rest of the day. I hope you had fun hanging out with us. This beauty is pretty dang awesome. Have yourself a look around. We got all kinds of stuff. We got Jeeps and Raptors, and it's in a lot of stuff. It's coming up in some more. And playing Dodge. Doesn't matter what you are. Have a good rest of the day. We love you. We're going to take you out to Fist Bump Friendship. See you later. Whoop-ow. Yeah, look at this back windshield again. I just love how that is curved around like that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty neat. We are ready to park this sucker.
I'm probably going to need help being guided in.
Yeah.
I'm going to back the thing in.
Let's hear it. You gotta hear machines like this. That's a big part of it.
Stand behind it if you want to hear it.
I know. That's right. Let's crank this baby up. A black stripe is cool. Clutch in. That does sound good. We gotta figure out. Ooh, it sounds good. Nice. We're ditching the bucket, or we're ditching the bench, and I can get this right. We're ditching the bench seats.
Yeah, you know,
we're both having a little tongue trouble, but we'll get through it, and it's going to be fun.
As a famous person once said on this car, he wasn't talking about this car, but if
Kind of excited about this part. Stupid steering wheel. Oh, that was it. Oh, that was beautiful.
doesn't take a lot of effort.
That was fantastic.
Now,
And now you know how strong automotive carpet is.
or maybe how strong I am.
Oh, that's true.
Almost no effort.
That's it. That's true. He said, I need more screwdrivers. And I said, in a pot, in every chicken. But I don't think that's quite how that saying went. Silver bullet. Did the Lone Ranger have silver bullets or something like that?
Yep.
Why did he have silver bullets?
I don't know. Kill vampires.
The part of the Lone Ranger story you never knew about. He was also a vampire hunter or a werewolf.